We've had a really strong nectar flow going on right now in Tampa, and there's swarming activity starting up, and this colony right here has actually started making swarm cells. So I want to make a video showing how to make a split to avoid swarming. And it's been raining all night, all morning. It just stopped raining. These bees are in a very bad mood, so it's not the most ideal time to work the bees, but this is the time I have. So I'm going to make a split, and this colony wants to split anyways. They're getting ready to swarm. If I leave them in probably 5 or 6 days, the queen will take a bunch of the bees, will fly off and make a new colony, and there's swarm cells just being drawn out in here. And these bees want to make a new colony, so I'm going to let them do what they want to do, but I'm going to control that process by taking the queen, taking about 3 frames of bees and brood, putting them in a nuke box here, and then I'm going to bring these to a separate location and then allow these bees here to raise their swarm cells. I'm going to make sure there's not too many so that we don't have after swarming. If you leave a lot of swarm cells, sometimes if more than one queen hatches before the first one can kill the other new queens, they'll send out after swarms, and you can really deplete your population in your hive if you allow that to happen. So we're going to go through and make this split here. And we're going to use lots of smoke because, as you can see, these bees are no fun to work with this morning. So what I'm doing right now is I'm looking through, I'm trying to find swarm cells, and I'm also trying to find the queen. And I'm looking for eggs. I want to make sure the queen is still here, that she hasn't already swarmed. I don't think she has swarmed yet because I'm seeing still a good population of bees in this colony. And here are those swarm cells right down here. They haven't been capped yet. If you can catch them before they get capped, usually you can avoid the swarm. You can either break them down, or the easier thing to do is to make a split. Let the bees do what they want to do, make a new colony. And so there are some, I don't know if you can see in there, there's too many bees on it right now, but there are some larvae inside of those queen cups. Still seeing eggs, so I know this queen is still around. I'm going to set this frame gently off to the side and just start working through this colony looking for the queen. Some good capped brood there. We're going to leave this with the original colony. Keep the population up after we take this queen. A lot of times I don't find the queen right at first, especially with these bigger production colonies with lots of bees. Sometimes I have to look through it a couple times. Here's another cell right there. That one's actually capped a little further along than the other ones. There, carefully. When I'm looking for a queen, a lot of times I like to take all the frames out of the box because often that queen will get on the side walls, and once you have all the frames out, you can look on the sides to see if she's walking around inside the side of the box. So I have all the frames on the outside of this box, and now I'm looking inside to see if I can see the queen walking around on the edges of the box. And if I don't, I'm going to then start putting the frames back in. And oh, I see the queen. Going to get my queen clip from my pocket. This queen was being sneaky. She's not on a frame. She's on the bottom corner of this box. Gotta wait till she's in the open. Then I'm going to catch her. Alright. So here I have the queen in this clip. They were getting ready to swarm with her, so we're going to put her with a few frames of bees in this nuke box, and we're going to take her to a separate location. And the original colony is going to think they swarmed. They're going to raise a queen cell or a few queen cells, and hopefully that queen will get mated and take over this colony. This is a way to control your swarming. These bees were going to swarm on me. Now, instead of losing a bunch of bees off to a tree somewhere, we're going to get to make a new colony with that split. Set her right there. This frame has a lot of emerging brood. I'm going to put that in the nuke box. This frame has some open comb, has some nectar and some capped honey in it. Give the queen room to keep laying. And then I want to give them one more frame of feed. I'm going to leave a lot of this capped brood with the original colony so that they maintain their population. All right. More smoke. Bees do not like humid weather, humid and rainy weather, and it is plenty humid and rainy right now. All right, we have a lot of feed, some pollen in that frame. We're going to put this with our split. Shake a few more bees into there. This has our queen cells. Not going to disturb them. We're going to let them raise a queen out of those. Take a few more bees into that split. And we're going to replace the frames that we took out with 3 empty frames. Put those on the outside. Go. These are going for my face. And we're going to put this original colony back together with the honey supers on top. These bees will continue to make honey. We're not taking too many away. A lot of times in a swarm you'll have 70–80% of your bees fly off. And so this is a way that we're not really putting this production colony behind too much. There's still a lot of brood emerging, a lot of worker bees to get that honey flow that's going on right now. And they'll actually go a little while without a queen. They're going to shift their attention off of feeding larvae and put it on to collecting nectar. So a queenless colony will sometimes, for a short amount of time, when they still have the population, will actually make more honey than a queen right colony. Because those nurse bees shift from feeding brood to going out and getting that nectar. So here we have the queen. We're going to release her into this nucleus box. Just let her walk out of there. There she goes. I like to watch her walk between the frames before I put the lid on. And there we have our split. What we're going to do, instead of leaving this split right here, when the bees swarm, they want to move quite a ways away from the original colony. So we're going to actually put this box in the truck. We're going to take it to a completely different yard far away. And then these bees are going to realize their queen's gone. They were wanting to swarm anyways. They're going to act like that queen swarmed off, and they're going to continue to raise these queen cells and keep this colony going. And so that's one of the ways that I control swarming, is by making splits and utilizing those queen cells that the bees want to raise anyways. And that's that.